Okay, 2, 3, 2. It's because it's 2, 3, 2 and then 62. It was like 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Hey guys, welcome back to another Thread Daily with me, Charlie. I'm the music editor here at Thread, and I am here today to talk to you about vinyl. Yes, that thing that us hipsters buy to pretend that we know more about music than we really do. News came out this week that vinyls have now overtaken sales of CDs for the first time since the 1980s, which is pretty mental. Just this year alone, vinyl sales have taken up 232 million in profit and have generated 62% of all physical music sales, which is quite impressive. But not enough of us are talking about the damage this has on the environment. You're probably wondering why vinyl in particular is so bad for the environment. For one, vinyl has had a sudden resurgence in the last 5 years, which means that most of the machines that produce vinyl are still from the 70s and 80s. These use fossil fuels, are steam powered, and are pretty unreliable. So basically we're using tons of energy to create stuff in the same way that we did 50 years ago with no regard for the environment. On top of the production of vinyl, you have the vinyl itself. Obviously the first bit being the vinyl, made entirely of plastic PVC, which doesn't decompose for hundreds of years. So if you were to fling this into landfill, that's me flinging it, it would not decompose for centuries. Obviously that causes a problem because the more vinyls you have in landfill, the more junk we have, etc, etc. On top of that, there's the labels on either side, side A and side B, both obviously using paper and ink. Plus you have a paper sleeve, and you have the cardboard overall packaging on top of that. These also come plastic shrink wrapped and have to be shipped internationally. Put all of this packaging and material together and you basically have a bomb of carbon footprint that is pretty horrific for the environment, especially compared to alternatives like streaming and CDs. And while those aren't particularly green choices either, these are not an environmental solution. So you're probably wondering, what is the best way to listen to music if I can't be a hipster and buy tons of vinyl? Well, it's not as easy as just simply streaming, which I originally thought that would be the case before doing this article. But streaming itself actually has its own problems. For example, streaming on Spotify and getting the data from Spotify servers back to you to listen to in headphones requires a significant amount of power and requires more power than it takes to just simply play a CD. So, if you're thinking of buying an album and you know you're going to listen to it over and over and over again, the actual best solution to go with is CD. Because if you buy a CD, yes, it's a physical product, but one, it can be recycled much easier than vinyl, and also requires less power per play than a stream does. Using Spotify every day also requires the power of huge servers, and the more of us use servers, the more we need. And this is a big problem coming up for the next decade. Luckily, there are some companies like Microsoft that are trying out new ways for them to be more energy efficient. One way in particular being underwater servers, which looks bizarre, but more things are happening right now to make servers greener. But for now, streaming is not particularly environmental compared to CDs, and I would actually recommend a CD if you're thinking of just listening to one album over and over and over again. Most importantly, over CD or streams, is just do not pick vinyl, especially new vinyl if you're trying to be greener, because new vinyl production is just terrible for the environment, uses loads of materials, and has to be shipped to you from probably like America or somewhere else. It's a big deal, do not do it. But if you absolutely have to have vinyl and you need to do it for image purposes, or if you're like a DJ doing the deck thing, I know how it is. There are several sustainable companies out there like Green Vinyl Records who are using more sustainable packaging and decomposable plastic, which means that it's not just simply going to rot in landfill for hundreds of years. Plus, it's always worth looking at vintage shops, vintage record places, and finding old vinyls, as these have zero carbon footprint for these days, as you haven't built something new. But whatever you do, don't buy new vinyl straight from Amazon if you want to be a greener listener. If you guys want to see more videos like this about sustainability or social change in general, then make sure you visit our website, thread.com. You can also find this article on our website, thread.com. And make sure you like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Helps us out. We need to get to 3K subs, let's go! But yeah, leave us a comment, let me know what you think. Let me know if you've been buying vinyl at all, because I certainly have been guilty of buying vinyls in the last few years and didn't really think about the sustainable impact. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, streaming isn't as good as you thought it was. And CDs aren't that bad. It's a weird topsy-turvy world. I don't really know what to tell you.